she comes and tells me, send me 5,000 first if you want us to talk. Now this was what I was referring to. So I sent the 5,000 and I'm expecting us to talk. Next thing I know, I'm blocked again. So I thought she's taking advantage of a desperate man.
Welcome to Chronicles Revealed, where we uncover compelling stories from around the world. Today, we shine a light on Ivy Wangechi, a promising medical student at Moi University, School of Medicine in Eldoret, Kenya. Join us as we delve into her tragic story, exploring the events that shook a nation and sparked a critical conversation about violence and justice. Originally from Thika in Kiambu County, Kenya, Ivy was admired for her diligence, intelligence, and passion for medicine. Viewer discretion is advised as we navigate through the complexities of her life and career. On the fateful morning of 9th April 2019, as the sun rose over Eldoret, a city brimming with hope and promise, Ivy Wangechi's life took a tragic turn. Ivy, a promising medical student, began her day with the same dedication and passion that defined her journey. Little did she know, her path would cross with Naftali Kinuthia, a 28-year-old IT expert from Thika, whose presence would bring unimaginable horror. How did a childhood friendship unravel into such a chilling betrayal? Kinuthia, apparently consumed by jealousy and rejection, had been stalking Ivy, his actions growing more threatening with each passing day. What led him to commit such a heinous act? Ivy Wangechi, a promising 25-year-old medical student, was viciously attacked in broad daylight at 10 a.m. by Naftali Kinuthia. Using an axe and a knife, he inflicted severe head injuries on Wangechi, leading to her tragic death shortly. Imagine the chaos and desperation as witnesses tried to rush Ivy to safety. Ivy's injuries were too severe, and she tragically succumbed, casting a pall of grief and outrage over the entire nation. Kenya was rocked by the news, and streets filled with protests demanding justice for Ivy and an end to gender-based violence. This brutal act not only ended a promising life, but also ignited widespread discussions about women's safety, the dangers of stalking, and the urgent need for stronger legal protections. Following the shocking and brutal attack on Ivy Wangechi, Naftali Kinuthia faced the immediate wrath of an enraged mob. Witnesses to the horrific scene quickly converged on Kinuthia, driven by a mixture of anger, disbelief, and a desire for immediate retribution. The crowd descended upon him, administering a severe beating in their attempt to subdue him. The mob's actions were fueled by the heartfelt reaction to the violence they had just witnessed. Kinuthia was beaten with fists, kicked, and struck with whatever objects the crowd could find, including sticks and stones. The intensity of the mob's assault left him bloodied and severely injured, but before any fatal harm could be inflicted, police arrived at the scene. The authorities intervened to disperse the mob, rescuing Kinuthia from their grip. Despite the anger and chaos, the police managed to control the situation, preventing the crowd from taking further action. They promptly arrested Kinuthia, providing him with medical attention for the injuries sustained during the mob's assault, and subsequently took him into custody to face legal proceedings for his crime. The brutal encounter underscores the depth of public outrage and the community's demand for justice in the wake of Ivy Wangechi's tragic death. 4 years after that fateful day, on December 14, 2023, the High Court in Eldoret became the stage for a dramatic confession from Naftali Kinuthia. The courtroom buzzed with tension as Kinuthia recounted the events leading up to the horrific crime. He confessed that overwhelming jealousy had consumed him when he saw his then-girlfriend Ivy Wangechi hugging another man. The sight shattered him, filling him with rage. Kinuthia admitted to hacking Wangechi with an axe, driven by anger and rejection. What could push a person to such extreme violence? He claimed that despite her distancing herself from him, he had continued to financially support her, spending over 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Kinuthia alleged that Wangechi had no intention of pursuing their relationship further and had been using him for money. His frustration grew when, after sending her 7,000 Kenyan shillings for her birthday, and she did not invite him to celebrate. Kinuthia further mentioned that he had been in the process of reclaiming the money from Wangechi's parents, realizing their love was not blossoming. Through his lawyer, he expressed regret for his actions and claimed that he had changed during his 4 years in remand. But can personal growth truly compensate for such a devastating loss? Justice Reuben Githinji listened intently as Kinuthia laid bare his emotions and motivations. Despite Kinuthia's expressions of remorse, the gravity of his crime weighed heavily in the courtroom. Justice Reuben Githinji, in his final ruling, sentenced Naftali Kinuthia to 40 years in prison for the cold-blooded murder of Ivy Wangechi, thus bringing the 4-year-long murder trial to a close. The confession and subsequent sentencing highlighted the intense emotions and tragic circumstances surrounding this case, emphasizing the dire consequences of unchecked jealousy and violence. This trial underscored the need for greater societal awareness and legal measures to prevent such devastating acts in the future. In the aftermath of Ivy Wangechi's tragic death, Kenya was thrust into a period of deep introspection and societal soul-searching. Her untimely demise at the hands of Naftali Kinuthia starkly illuminated the pervasive issue of gender-based violence that plagues our communities. How many more lives must be lost before we address these systemic issues? How can we protect our loved ones from such senseless violence? These questions linger, urging us to seek answers and change. Ivy's story ignited a national outcry, illuminating the critical need for sweeping reforms in both law and society to shield women from senseless acts of brutality. How can we ensure such tragedies never happen again? Her memory emerged as a poignant symbol in the ongoing quest for justice and safety, resonating deeply with a public hungry for change. What does her legacy signify in our fight against gender-based violence? As we contemplate Ivy Wangechi's life and the profound impact of her tragic death, we are confronted with uncomfortable truths about violence against women. How can her story inspire concrete action and lasting societal change? Her legacy serves as a rallying cry, urging us to forge a future where every individual, irrespective of gender, can exist free from the specter of harm or injustice. How can we collectively contribute to building this safer, more equitable world? Thank you for joining us as we delved into this compelling chapter of Kenya's history. If you found Ivy Wangechi's story thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Chronicles Revealed for more gripping narratives. Stay tuned with the notification bell for our latest updates. Until next time, take care and continue exploring the hidden depths of human experiences with us.